Some kind of drama going on over there. I don't know what it is. Go hooping and hollering about something. Anyway, got the carport build going. So got this all welded up today. So still have space up there for the, we got basically that piece right there has to go like this. Put those all the way down at about every 80 centimeters, and then run the panels come along this way, so they go perpendicular to that cross brace there. And so basically what I did is I didn't want to have a post right here in the middle, because when we pull in, you know, you have the doors open or whatever. So I wanted to try to have as much open space as I could. And then if I want to pull something into the yard to unload or whatever, I still can. So that was the purpose of that. So tried to get that post as far that way as I could. And I think I said before, I made a little bit of a mistake, is I had to weld 8 inches 20 centimeters onto that end, because I put that beam 8 inches too far that way. So I don't know quite how I did that, but that happens. So yeah, it's pretty flat. It's not doesn't have much slope on it, but enough for the rain. We don't get any snow or anything. Only problem will be leaf buildup, so we'll have to get up there and blow that a couple times a year. But yeah, so now I gotta go buy the channel, and then buy the roof material, and then all the trim. Little birds are already moving in. Starting to get some sprouts on our dirt here, which I don't want. Need to go get some sod bought. But yeah. So yeah, I'm worn out. I just got that welded. I started yesterday. Got that all done. Took me about 3 or 4 days just to do this top part, because I can only do a little bit at a time. So one day was just welding the end caps on the short one, cutting those in half, welding the end cap on, and then adding this little piece on there to all of these, so that would line out. So now what I'll do is I'll create a little somehow put another little support, probably just go off of the top of that one right there up to support a beam right there, and then one more in the middle. And I think just welding it up there, maybe put a little angle support to that, should be enough to hold that up there, between this end being welded and that end having a upright there, and then something across there to support it all. Should be enough. So then the sidewalk here will be covered, and everything will be tied in. So yeah, holiday today, so went to the market, a lot of people out. Now I just got to get energy to get the rest of this. I haven't had any energy this week, so I am tired. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just the rain, the weather changing, or what, but I'm tired. But I got all that steel up and out of here, so now I can clean this up. When it rains, the mud is washing back onto my patio here, so I need to get some sod laid down there, just to kind of keep that mud and gunk from coming up onto my patio. I put a little bit of a trench there, but it's just kind of splashing up, so just need to get some get some sod laid in there, so it's not very expensive. So that's next, probably this week. Okay, so starting to put my perpendicular roof supports in there. So they were out of the thicker steel that I like to use. So usually I put these at 80 centimeters apart, but they were out of the thicker steel. And I've got 1 meter 14 in between the supports. So just to be on the safe side, Contai would probably not do this, but when you walk on it, if you don't step exactly on that beam, the roof just can't support it. And I don't go up there because I'm way too big. I bend the thick stuff. But the Thai guys, they try to walk on these beams. They're pretty good about staying in the right place. But I'm putting these on 50 centimeter centers. So that should give plenty of support. If somebody steps like right here in the middle, it should still have enough support to hold somebody up, but they usually tend to walk on the screws, so it's not so bad. But yeah, so put one up at the very front to where I can put in the screw without having to go underneath the roof. And then I put one on the tail end, and then 50 centimeter on center the rest of the way. So I got a full 9 meter span. So all of this material today was just over 10,000 baht. So that's for screws, which they're super cheap here. Even for this store where I buy them are pretty good quality. They're not the cheap Chinese ones that strip out at every turn. But these are pretty decent hardware. So they were like 40 baht per 100. So I got 4 bags of those, and then got these runners. These were 2,600 baht for 12 of them. And then the roof material was like 7 because it was a thinner. It's like a 0.38 is the gauge on it. I usually get the 0.442, I think, and it's you wouldn't think that 4 mil would make a big difference, but it sure does. So that extra gauge of steel, and it's only I think it was only 15 baht difference between the two steel, so I was just buying the thicker steel. This is the thinner steel. So there you go. And we couldn't get an answer when they were going to have some more shipped in. We could have went to another store, but they gave me a discount on the other steel, and then I just had to buy a few more of these runners here. So all in all, it'll work out pretty good, and we shouldn't have to be up on this roof too often, maybe once a year, just to clean any leaves that go up under the eaves. But on the back side, we got a lot of trees on the back side back there, so we're up on there at least twice a year. And then Goy's up on top of here all the time picking mangoes. As one thing we've learned, good thing this isn't a bedroom, because, well, it is a bedroom directly behind here, but when these mangoes fall on this steel roof, it is loud, man. Bang! So if we're sitting there watching TV or something, it'll wake you up, that's for sure. So anyway, I'll try to do some time lapse. I got to find my little stand. I lose everything, my mind. Try and get this done today. Not sure the back and legs will take it or not, but I'll get it all up there where all I have to do is finish screwing. Anyway, this is going to be a big old carport. So I built it enough to put 2 cars, or a car and a motorcycle. Her uncle over there, down over there, may need to park his truck over here. So that's kind of, I built it big enough where we can scoot them side by side. And you know, his truck he doesn't drive too often, so we can put it right up over here, and then ours come in and out every day. So but yeah, that's kind of why I did that. But yeah, that's the background on that. So let me put it on time lapse and uh, show you guys what we got going on. Please don't make fun of my little short ladder, but that's what I got, and I don't want to go spend the money on a taller ladder because I don't really need it. So safety third, but they're going in all the way to right here. So I just have a couple hundred more screws to do and I'll be done. So another 2 hours, but it's break time. And if you can tell, the sun is hot today. I'm already getting sunburned. It's only been maybe a half hour, 40 minutes. So yeah, it's hot and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll wait till about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock and then finish this off. Take me about another hour, but it's just getting too hot. So tools are getting hot, sit in the sun. I'm in hot, getting the sun, and that steel is hot to the touch. So it's like hitting my underarms on a hot piece of metal, man. Woo! That'll wake you up. So, all right, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good one. Supervisor Kitty had to come along. Gotta come see what's going on. Mitten. So yeah, I'm glad to get that stuff all up in the air. Today is Wednesday. Friday morning they're bringing the tin for the top, so we're gonna take it off the truck and put it right up onto the roof because they got 2 guys, and I'm sure that stuff's not gonna be easy to handle being 9 meters long. So me and the other guy, once it's up there, we can handle it once it's up there, I think. So otherwise we'll have to get some help from somebody. But yeah, got about another hour of screwing around. Got another hour of screwing around to get that finished. Probably ought to do it tonight. Rain's coming though, possibly, so yeah, I may just do that here. My hands are all cramped up and my back's pretty bad, but see if I can't power through this and get this done. Few little funky things happened. I had one beam got pushed up to the house too far. That one, 2, 3, 4. It's this way about half an inch too far. But it wasn't lining up on this. I think I got these poles, didn't get put in. They're a little bit cockeyed that way. But you know, I do the best I can by myself, so I don't have anybody helping me. Dance! Come on, dance! Little kids on the bike. Just to give you an idea how hot it is, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I just finished doing the last screws. I'm a big boy. I like my beer, and I drink just as much water, and salt solution to help the sweat. But if you don't like sweating, Thailand's probably not for you, at least for the upper part of the country. So just to show you, it's hot. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, had rain last night, so it is humid. So keep that in mind. If you don't like sweating, you won't like Thailand. I don't mind it, but you got to drink a lot of fluids. Somebody's selling something. The market comes to. Oh, they're selling. Baht, 20 baht. I don't know what they're selling though, but anyway, yeah. So the rain's been it's been raining. Days there no rain, but it's been raining pretty much every day. This is ready for roof. It's supposed to be delivered first thing in the morning. Got that all done between yesterday and this morning. I was gonna go get some sod, but I think I'm gonna wait because I need to really level this thing out. It's got a lot of slope coming this way. But I don't have a rake, like a hard tying rake. They're hard to find. So if I go to the big box stores, I might be able to find one, but I'm gonna need a good quality rake, not a little cheapy. Short of making my own, I guess. I could weld one up with a piece of rebar, and but I'm gonna work on this today. I'm gonna put this little overhang right here. So I got 2 pieces, one new piece, and then this one is pretty clean. We used it for concrete form, but it didn't get too dirty, and I only need 180 centimeters of it, so I'll just hit the wheel with it, clean it up. What I'm gonna do is put 2 pieces coming out like this, a piece coming out like that, and then run a piece and weld it to there. And then I think what I'll put is like a 45-degree brace right here, and that should be enough to take care of that, because this one right here is a heavy beam. This is a medium beam, so it should take it. And that's just a light beam, but there's not going to be 20-30 pounds on that, so it's not going to be very heavy, so it doesn't have to be super strong, just the mostly wind load more than anything. So if I weld something to that side and something to this piece coming over here, I've thought about going through my roof right here, but I don't want to do any penetrations into the roof, and just put a little stub up 6 or 8 inches. But I think this support here at a 45 will, or I could even lengthen it out and put it like on a 20-degree angle to have it come out a little bit farther. But I'm only going 4 or 5 feet, 180 centimeters, which is what? 180 is roughly 6 feet. So not too much hanging out there, and it's just got to have this light tin on it, so it doesn't need to be super strong. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work on that and maybe show you a couple of pictures as I get going. All right, roof 2.0. The steel just arrived. We pulled the truck right up into the drive there and just went straight up on there. So it's 9 meters long, so you can see it's pretty good piece. So got a little flex to it, but should be plenty strong. Especially once we get this all screwed down, it'll really stiffen up a lot. They don't need to put one right on the corner because we're gonna have a trim go there. Yeah. We'll have to take that one out later. Huh? Yeah, so that's gonna come together pretty quick. There's only 8 panels, so got about 300 screws, so I got a little bit of work to get going. I offered them my cordless, but they want to use their regular drills. It's just what they're used to, I guess. So what I've got them doing is, because I put these so close together just to give this thin stuff a little extra support. What I got them doing is gonna put a screw in this one, skip one, put a screw in that one, and then when they do this corner here, when the next piece goes on, I'll have them put one, skip this one, put one there, skip that one, put one there, so that way they're offset and they're still one every 100 centimeters. So not that I can't buy a couple hundred screws, but it's just it's overkill. And when this heats and cools, it expands and contracts quite a bit. So yep, that'll work out. All right, so give a quick rundown on what this cost. These posts here, they're $300 for 3 mitt, $360 or $340 for the 3.5 mitt. I only had 2 of those. Well, 3 if you count that. This heavy duty beam, I've got 3 of those. That was $760 each, and these lighter weight beams are $360 each. These pieces here are 140 baht. The steel, I got it for 95 baht per mitt, linear mitt, and it's 75 centimeters of usable width. So it's actually, I think it's like 79 centimeters across, but you got to allow for the one of the channels there for overlap. So you have a usable width of 75, so you just take your span and divide it by 0.7, divide it by 75 if you're doing in centimeters, 0.75 if you're working in meters. So this was 6 meters across, so that worked out to be 80 exactly. Pretty close. But yeah, so I had 19. I'm glad I did these, because I usually use the thinner steel, and I have a bigger span. I usually do them at 80. All of that was done at 80. But these I moved to 50 and used the thinner metal because that's what was available. And it really worked out nice. It actually worked out better using this thinner steel and putting more of those in. So yeah, I had a little more expense on these runners, but it saved me on, and they give me a discount on the steel because usually it's like 105. So they give me like 10 baht per meter off because they didn't have the thicker stuff in. And it saves me probably a couple 100 pounds in weight for this whole span. So total was 72 meters because it's 9 by 6. So it was 72 square or linear meters. And so I had a couple 100 screws. I still got the side pieces. I'll get those ordered, but that won't be expensive. It's only like 115 baht per linear meter. So a couple hundred, less than 1,000 baht to finish this up. So yeah, 20,000 baht, under 20,000 baht, and that's given the guys, gave them 1,000 baht, so 500 each for an hour and a half worth of work, which is very good in Thailand. The average rate is about 300 to 500 baht per day of working out in the sun and stuff, and they knock this out in an hour and a half. But those guys do a pretty good job. Once I get them going, they do exactly what once we figure out exactly what we're talking about, they do exactly what I wanted. Put a piece of flashing up there at the top. You can still see daylight right there, but we shouldn't get any rain coming in because there's a piece of flashing right up against the house right there. So that comes out. So unless there's a real gust gusty storm. That should be dry in there. It's been working on the backside. So yeah, I was just counting on the overhang of the roof to be enough, but I just had to put an extra piece of flashing there. So easy to do yourself. I did all the welding, big welding. So I told you earlier I made a mistake. I had to add that 8 inches on there. But I took it off of the piece down there that hangs out, so it still ended up with 9 meters. It's just laid out a little bit differently than I thought. I made a mistake placing these 2 posts. I should have been 9 inches closer this way. So that happens. And when I first set it, I set it a little bit too high. I forgot to take into allowance for this beam here, so I had to cut them down another 4 inches for that. And yeah, so hopefully we will keep the birds out. I got a couple more pockets to weld the ends of these if you don't weld them closed. And what I mean by that is put a cap on it like that. The birds will get in there and try to make a nest, and if you don't mind them, that's fine. But these little chickadees, they will come around and get on the truck and on the mirrors and tap on the window. They go over to that window and tap on it, and they come over to these windows and tap on. It's like they're looking at their own reflection. But they'll get on the truck and the rear view mirrors and sit there and look at themselves and tap on the window and tap, 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 and crap all over everything. So I try to keep these, not give the animals an easy place to hide. The geckos get everywhere, and it's almost impossible to keep them sealed out, but they poop and pee on the side of the house, but it's not too bad to poop, just little mouse turds. But I've been at restaurants where they're all over the ceiling, and I like look above my head to make sure I don't have any walking around, because they'll just poop right down. You see it on the tables in the morning when we wake up. So try not to give the critters places to hide. So get this all painted up, get those posts painted, primed and painted to look like the rest of the house, and it'll start to look a little bit more finished as we go. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you made it this far with me rambling on, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, and hope you learned something. Hope be happy to answer any questions if you guys have it. This is pretty easy to do by yourself. Just getting it laid out is probably the hardest part of it, getting it square and getting it the distances and everything correct. So when you do where your seams, if you're going to have more than one beam go, and get those over the top of a post or on top of another beam, like right there. So you want your seams to come out in the right place. Definitely didn't want to have a seam like in the middle here on a long supportive joist. I would have had to put a lot of reinforcement and stuff in there, and that stuff there is really too thin to weld very well. On this bottom beam is a heavy beam, so it takes the weld a lot better than this light one. This light one will burn through pretty easy. Even when you're stick welding. The MIG welding is definitely the way to go with this, but the stick welding is even tougher. And I can't stick weld at all, so I've just concentrated on my MIG welding. So anyway, that's what not done, but she's close enough. So thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. Have a good one.